You think you know me.
Wrestling fans, what's going on, man? It's Black Couch Booking here with a brand new video. I got my dog, Affluential Sports, in the building. Ed, say what's up to the people. Let them know where they can find you real quick.
Y'all go sub to my YouTube channel, Influential Sports, where passion meets precision. You can find me on TikTok as well and on Instagram and Threads, as you can see on the screen.
Yes, indeed, man. We got a new video for y'all. Shout out to the AEW heads, always asking me for AEW content. I got y'all. This is the one. But we gotta be fair. We gotta be objective. You know, I could make a lot of videos criticizing WWE, and we rock with AEW heavy. So if this is your first time coming here, this isn't an AEW slander channel. This ain't an AEW slander conversation. But at the end of the day, you know, if you love something, you can't critique it. And we love AEW. We rock with AEW heavy. I think I can speak for myself and Ed in that sense. So we want to give our biggest issues with AEW. And I will say this again, AEW has been doing a phenomenal job. For the past like 2 years, I would say that everything's been pretty much on point except for certain things. So I'm gonna let my dog Affluential Sports give his first issue with AEW. We're gonna go two apiece.
All right. My first issue with AEW is the 8-man, 6-man, 6-woman all-star tag team matches. I think this comes from AEW not having live events, so it's put them in a position to where they had to do this, to where they got to build chemistry between these superstars. But the concept of it, it's like you say it's a 8-woman all-star tag match, and then you got Julia Hart there, and she's only been a TBS champion. So it's not even all-stars every time, and that's not a bad thing, but she hasn't been a main event. She hasn't been a world champion yet, so how can she be in an all-star tag team match? So it's a good way to build chemistry, but putting it on TV is putting feuds together that don't really make sense. That's one of my biggest issues.
I like that. I'm actually happy you brought that up because I didn't even think about that. And I think my next point kind of coincides with a similar issue that I have. But I definitely don't like. I can't give away my next point, but I kind of it's like they do things, and it's kind of like they just. I'll give Tony Khan credit for showcasing talent like on a consistent basis and trying to utilize the entire roster. So I think that's probably one of the main reasons. But like you said, sometimes it just doesn't make sense. I say especially with when they do that with the men as well, it's like they be mixing stories that's kind of like you putting two and two together that need to be separate, because when you put them together against the other two they feuding with, the people that they feuding with most of the time don't even rock with each other like that. So they're having a senseless tag team match that's like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna tag team with him for this match, but I don't even like him. I was just feuded with him a couple of months ago. So like stuff like that is really dumb, for sure. And I think that's definitely something that they need to address in the future. Like for Collision is whatever anyway. So I think you could do that for Collision every now and then, but Collision has started to pick up a little bit, especially since it seems like the TNT champion is the one that's going to be running things on Collision. So it's been picking up a little bit, but they definitely got to get rid of that for sure. And with that being said, I think this kind of coincides with my issue. It's not the biggest issue, but I think AEW has a great women's division. I think they stacked. And I think that's the issue. I think Tony Khan needs to stop signing new women talent. I think you need to lock the roster for at least the next 8 months, unless something drastic happened. Like if Bailey's available, you got to sign somebody like Bailey. But you don't need to go to Japan and in the UK and just sign somebody that's kind of got a little bit of buzz, because it seems like for instance, right? Like you got Tekla, but you got to push Tekla to make her look good. But you still have a Jamie Hayter. You still have a Willow Nightingale. You still have a Chris Statlander. You still have a Queen Aminata. And it's like, damn, bro. You still have a Megan Bain. You signed Tekla, and Tekla got to get pushed to the forefront. Nigga, Megan Bain should be a beast right now. She seemed kind of regular. Like, this ain't the same Megan Bain that just had a championship match against Toni Storm. This is definitely not the same Megan Bain. And I'm not blaming Penelope Ford. I don't think Penelope Ford is watering her down. I think the Penelope Ford and Megan Bain thing is working a little bit better than the Julia and Kiana James thing. But what I will say is, the more and more you keep signing, the more and more you got to compensate for who you just signed. And the people who are there previously, like a Queen Aminata. Like even Queen Aminata and Willow Nightingale teaming up was kind of random because I thought Queen Aminata was a heel just a couple of months, just not too long ago. At least that's what it seemed like. So now it's kind of like I think now you're just pivoting too much because you have literally nothing to do, but you want to showcase everybody. So what you think about that?
I'm glad you brought that up because the first person I thought of was Alex Winder, and maybe it's a bit of nepotism with her being engaged to Will Ospreay, but I don't want to get too deep into that. But I just found it interesting how she came and she had a shot at the Ring of Honor title against Athena and two matches against Mercedes, one in the Fatal 4-Way for the TBS title, while Tekla isn't getting her first championship match until All Out September 20th. So I don't see how Tekla had to work out. She had months to work her way up to get to this point, and then Alex Winter, she coming there. She already in main event feuds and Ring of Honor, and she fighting against Mercedes one day. So where's the balance in that?
Yeah, man, like you got a lot of talent. And I'm not even saying that the alternative, like I'm happy they got rid of Rampage. I think Dynamite Collision is straight. Ring of Honor, the people who can watch it, they watch it. The people who can't, it is what it is. But like they're really getting in dangerous territory with some of these because like I said, like definitely somebody like a Chris Statlander, it's kind of like, oh well, let's tease her joining the Death Riders, and if she doesn't join, which is very probable, she'll join up with Hook, Daniel Garcia, blah blah blah, to be the opposite of the Death Riders. They'll be the life gliders or some stupid shit. But it's like that's not going to do anything. Like she should be in a title picture. She don't got to win it, even though I think she should win. But if that ship is sailed, like we don't even know who's going to beat Mercedes Monet because you got 50 people that are logical candidates. Like I think AEW, like I mean, having availability is fine, but it's not like hella women is hurt. All these women are active and good to go. So it's like, damn, bro, like what you about to do? So I think
This
that's definitely an issue.
this why I said I think there are benefits for having women's tag titles because they actually utilize their tag teams. So it's like, and it would make more sense to put Chris Statlander and Willow together. I don't see what with them two being with anybody else just seems kind of weird to me. But I think they could do a good job with tag team titles.
No, that's for sure. I definitely agree. So what's your next issue, which is your biggest issue with AEW?
The next issue, I say the booking of the tag team division. I expected a lot more with this Hurt Syndicate run. I think, and obviously Tony Khan isn't the best at booking big men. And then he had the Hurt Syndicate. Their build up to the title was cool. They had a solid reign, but it was like it was a lot of matches against guys with their styles that didn't mesh. Then you put Brody King and Bandito together. Didn't explain it. Didn't even tell. I don't even know what a Buddy Matthews injury is. We still don't know that. And it's like you. I like the stuff they're doing with the Young Bucks, but the fact they ain't got a tag team title shot since losing it don't make sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely have an issue with the tag team booking. I mean, I'm kind of happy that he didn't go too insane with making the Hurt Syndicate like OD, like they was being like a tag team every single week and doing just the most outlandish things. Because then it would have been way unbelievable of who was gonna beat them. But this is way unbelievable of who just beat them. I don't care if it was a triple threat tag team. I don't care if it was 10 tag teams. Brandito, bro, whatever the hell that, bro, that, and that's gonna get to my next issue, but that makes no sense, especially somebody who's Ring of Honor champion. Why did he need a tag team belt, bro? Like they need to like companies got to take certain things from each other. They need to treat Ring of Honor. I'm sorry to say this, Ring of Honor got way more history and way more prestige than NXT, but it's kind of like if somebody's the Ring of Honor champion, they should not be allowed to win a belt on the main roster unless they're going to relinquish that belt. And that's not to say that the tag team belt is as valuable as the Ring of Honor championship. I'd rather be the Ring of Honor champion in my opinion. But like it just doesn't make sense to me. Like that don't make no sense at all. Which definitely brings me to my next point before you about to go, and I'm gonna say it after you.
Yeah, I think the one positive shot they did the callback of Ricochet. I think that was cool, but he should have let FTR win if he was gonna do that. Like I have no problem with that story with Ricochet against the Hurt Syndicate. I think that's gonna be a good trios match with him and against the Agony. But you should have let FTR win. I don't see the purpose of Brodito being tag champions.
Facts, bro, Dito, man, that's stupid as shit. Which brings me to my next point. My biggest issue with AEW is Why do so many people have to be double champions? I do not understand, bro. Dustin Rhodes had 3 belts at one point. First of all, why do you have to be the 3-man champion, the 6-man champion, and he was a tag team Ring of Honor champion? Like, bro, the Devon Erics could have teamed up with somebody else to be the champions. Like that definitely don't make no sense. Now him and Sammy Guevara, that could be like a Sammy Guevara redemption story. Okay, fine. But he won that all in because he texted. I don't want to hear that, bro. That was a waste of having 3 belts. Now you got this clown with the Ring of Honor championship and a tag team belt. And I'm not talking about no Mercedes Moné for all you smart asses in the comment section, because she has 1 belt in AEW. 1 belt. She is not a double champ. She's not a 10-time champion, a 10-belt champion, 9-belt, 8-belt in AEW. She has 1 title. So she don't count. Now, if Athena would have won, the only justification I would have had for her having both belts is she could hit 1,000, then she gonna drop the belt and then still have the AEW Women's Championship. That's logical sense. When Kenny Omega had multiple belts, it was logical sense because it was from another company and he didn't have both of the belts. But now Kyle Fletcher wants the AEW championship and he's a TNT champion. Like certain things like that just don't make sense to me. Like, I don't know what Tony Khan doing, but having double titles doesn't necessarily bring up the prestige of the person. Like, they can make that 1 belt significant. Like, they make the belt don't make them. Okada coming out with his 3 belts, but he's a unified champion. Why was that man coming out with 3 belts for? You unified him. Throw them other 2 belts in the garbage.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then when Dustin Rhodes won it, but Sammy Guevara just turned heel. I just seen that. I don't even keep up with Ring of Honor, but you had Sammy Guevara turn heel a month later, so that was pointless. And then it's like you call it the Unified Championship is crazy to me. I thought it was gonna get a new name. It's just a Unified Championship, and the Don Callis family got about 30 people in it. And you tell me one of your champions goes back to the title instead of you could have had Josh Alexander go back to the title. Because he lost his debut to a Hangman, so that would have made more sense for him to try to get the title and bring it to the Don Callis family.
Right, and at the end of the day, he's not even the top billing in the group. Takeshita still is like up there, maybe even more so than Kyle Fletcher still, because he's still putting on bangers, even though he don't got a belt. But he put on bangers here and elsewhere. So it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I know Tony Khan is trying to build people's resume, but we don't got to speed run this, bro. This is a 6-year company, bro. You got more time, bro. It's the company not about to go out of business. So I don't know why we're doing a speed run. Because if that's the case, then Tony Storm might as well be the TBS champion and the AEW Women's champion if we're going to go that route.
Yeah, Tony Khan can afford to be patient. I don't get rushing it with certain stars. Like, you pulled the trigger with Kyle Fletcher. Oh, I know it was a few weeks late. You still pulled the trigger. So don't try to force it to giving him multiple titles now.
That's facts, and definitely, what I really don't want to see, I don't want to see a situation like a Hangman is the AEW champion, and then he teams up with somebody and win the tag team champions, and he got both. Please don't. I don't want to see that, bro. That's a tale as old as time. Especially if they did some shit like Hangman and MJF, put them in a tag team. They can't coexist, but they somehow end up winning the tag team belts. Like Tony Khan, just please don't do that. And I could definitely see him doing something like that.
They did that with MJF and Adam Cole.
Yep. Yeah, and look how that turned out.
Well, that nigga Adam Cole just injury prone. So
get well soon, nigga. But you know what I'm saying, y'all, that's the video for today. We ain't even got to keep y'all that long. I hope y'all enjoyed that, man. If y'all want some more AEW content, you know, Black House Booking and Affluential Sports are the 2 people of the family that you want to go to at top billing. And of course, we got my dog Ricky the Shadow. So maybe we'll get something popping, you know, in the future, and OG as well. You got anything to say to the people before we be out of here?
Darby Allin is a dumbass.
And there you have it, folks. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to myself and Affluential Sports, and you will see us very soon. And more AEW content is on the way. I promise. Y'all got to give it some time, and hopefully AEW stop putting out 1-minute highlights so we can have even more content. Peace.